This is Ninja, and I'm one half of What's Going On podcast, and this is What's Going On right now. And we talking about what everybody's talking about. Young Noble dissing Nas after 30-something years. But the crazy thing is that he is saying that Nas was being disrespectful in some interviews and he was tired of hearing about it. I think the first disrespect, which I don't know if it's disrespect or not, but and I've watched the interviews and I don't think they're disrespectful, but anyway, he said that Nas said that he gave Pac the idea for his chain that he was wearing. I don't know how true that is. Obviously there's no real pictures or whatever of who had what chain first. I know Nas did have the big QB chain, but I'm assuming that's way after Pac died. I know Pac had a chain during the MTV Awards that was pretty big, but apparently there was another chain that somebody was saying that Nas had that was similar to the QB chain but a lot smaller, but it was still plated like that, where it was big and round. And they showed a picture of it and it looked old school, but apparently they said that was the chain he was referring to, not the QB chain, which I don't know. Nobody has really said anything about it. Nas just mentioned it one time in an interview, I think on Drink Champs or maybe one of those. So he said that was disrespectful, but I don't know how that's disrespectful. But anyway, then the second one was that Nas had mentioned, and I watched his interview as well, where he said that he had seen Pac somewhere and Pac said, "What you drinking on?" And he said Hennessy, and that he put Pac onto Hennessy. I don't know how true that is, but Pac's been talking about Hennessy for as long as I can remember. But like I said, Nas was out first. Maybe they did meet somewhere before that and it just never came up. But I don't know, these are just, like I said, stories. I don't take Nas to be a liar for anything. I mean, one of the other outlaws, Mu, which is a Muslim and he lives out in Saudi now, he kind of corresponds with a lot of the stories Nas says more than Snoop Dogg. Apparently Snoop Dogg's things were a little bit more exaggerated. He said that the Nas stories are a lot more closer, but obviously everybody has a different perspective because they were in different areas. Like Young Noble was there when the Nas thing popped off in Bryant Park, but he was like 18 or 19, or Pac and Nas are like in their 20s, so they were a little younger. But everybody's perspective is different. Nas had like 6 guys with him. I think Jungle was with him and a couple other guys from Queensbridge. And then Pac was with a bunch of Jersey dudes, like 30 or 40 of them. And, they were all in Bryant Park. And, they all talked and whatever. He is mad because of those situations. And he says that it got twisted out. But when Mu talked about it, he said the same thing Nas said. Almost identical. And Edie talks about it. He wasn't there at the Bryant Park situation, but he talks about it. He's like, yeah, I kind of got the same stories that so I don't know. I think Young Noble, like, he's a good rapper, and I don't got nothing against the guy. I don't even listen to his music that much, but the diss track is kind of dope. It seems a little, I don't know. He says I guess it was old and he did it a while ago. It sounds a little dated, but the beat was tough. His raps were tough, but I just feel like he was, I don't know, man. People say he's clout chasing and all this stuff. I think it's just like a real, like, it's more disrespectful and disgusting to see his answer or his way of going about it, because he probably could have touched down and talked to Nas on the low or whatever, but apparently he didn't want to go that route. He wanted to do the rap shit, which is fine. But like, he got a little bit off subject, you know what I'm saying? Like, he started talking about Nas' daughter and Khalees and all this other stuff that had really nothing to do with what he was yapping about. But like I said, I'm a big hip-hop fan. I hope it stays hip-hop and it sounds good, but I know probably 110% Nas is not going to respond to this because it's like, it came out of nowhere. It's kind of like weird. So I don't know, like, with all the West Coast uprising, this kind of like, it's kind of like tainted it a little bit. Like really, like, Kendrick was doing his thing, and then Ray Vaughn was doing his thing, and then you have Joey Badass going after Kendrick, and like Ray Vaughn's going after Joey Badass, and it's all good music and it's all fun. And then you got all these West Coast dudes really doing their thing, and now you got other rappers coming out and doing their thing, and then you got Young Noble coming out dissing Nas, talking crazy, which is which can be probably a good thing if somebody in the East Coast kind of just nips it in the butt. But I don't know. I just think Young Noble, it was more like not really a rap battle. It was more like he had to get it off his chest, or he just mad for some weird reason. I don't know, but it just didn't sound like it was a good playful song. Kind of like the way the way Kendrick started with Drake, and then when it got serious, Young Noble just went straight to the serious shit. Like he ain't even like give it a warning shot. He ain't be like, yo, yeah. Like he just went straight for he just took it, shooting everything. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Young Noble Nas situation. You think Nas is gonna respond? I don't think he is. I think Jungle will probably respond before Nas will. Is Jungle crazy? But I think he's gonna have a lot of people either coming, not really, I don't want to say coming after him, but like probably doing like the raps songs for Nas. I think. I mean, nothing might come from it. That'll be that. But I don't know. I just think hip hop is really in a good space now with all the Kendrick and Drake shit kind of just dying down, and all these new artists are kind of emerging out of the fucking ashes, and people start talking about different rappers. Daylight did a song that was dope. You know, it's a good time for hip hop, and I don't want like somebody to ruin it by doing a weird diss track towards somebody who, like, even if that was a fact, let's just say Nas was lying. That's like 30 years. Like, you know how many people done talk shit about Tupac? Like Whack 100, even sometimes Snoop be saying some wild shit. The Game said a couple, like, not dissing, but like they say things that, you know, make Pac look a little lighter than he was. But he ain't saying nothing about them. He just went straight at Nas. So this is why I think this is more of a like something that's really been bugging him for years versus something personal against Nas than him responding to something Nas said. So, but anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. I'm your host Ninja, and I'll see you next week with some new content with my boy Early Bird. We'll be back on the program. See you next week. Later.
Not enough.